10, 15 years ago, being a creative city just started to make headlines. Back then, few were creative anything. But now, everybody seems to be creative. Some calculations say that there are more than 200 creative nations, cities, regions, villages in the world. So if everyone is creative, what does it actually mean? According to Charles Landry, cities in which most of us live are witnessing the effects of profound shift from third industrial revolution, the digital one, into fourth industrial revolution. Cities 1.0. These were cities as machines, well-oiled, top-down, hierarchical structures in which the functions of working, living, and leisure are often separated. Cities 2.0. It begins to focus more on the emotional feel of the city, its milieu and atmosphere. There's a creative awareness of the power of creative economy. Culture becomes a competitive tool, and it is used to encourage urban regeneration and revitalization. Cities 3.0 are harnessing the collective imagination and intelligence of citizens in making and shaping their city. It is an adaptive and flexible city. Horizontal and cross-sector collaboration has become the norm. There is a greater tolerance of risk. Third places become important. These are the places which are neither at home nor at office, where it is possible to work on the move. The creative place can be a room, a building, a street, a neighborhood. It is an age where culture and creative activities appear overnight and then disappear, where things are less solid and less permanent. In smart cities, the first generation of smart cities are technology-driven. And we see this in many initiatives around the world as cities try to embrace all digital. The second generation of smart cities, the Smart City 2.0, is technology-enabled, but city-led strategy. In this phase, cities focus on technology solutions as enablers to improve quality of life and find solutions to some of the most pressing challenges of our times. But the Smart City 3.0 is all about people. It's about using digital technologies to allow citizen engagement and co-creation. Culture is changing as well. As Professor Pierluigi Sacco has so clearly demonstrated in his Culture 3.0 model, we have moved from this top-down patronage model of Culture 1.0, in which the participation in culture production and consumption is limited and controlled, through Culture 2.0, the era of creative industries and focus on market forces, into Culture 3.0, a phase of deep civic engagement and cultural co-creation. The change is brought by the rapid development of digital technologies, in which the border between the creator and the audience is blurred, and where we are all simultaneously creators and consumers, and which has removed most of the barriers from entering cultural and creative markets. Professor Sacco has called cultural institutions of the first phase temples of knowledge, who see themselves often as keepers of the truth and true value, who know best what people want and need. The institutions of the second phase are often described as entertainment machines, in which there is increased expectation for cultural sector to generate income and visitor numbers, which become an explicit success factor. In the third phase, the culture institutions and public authorities become community sense makers by involving citizen communities into creation, production, circulation, and preservation of culture. In other words, the world is rapidly changing, and the cities, in order to be competitive, need to change as well. One of the first questions any city or region should be asking itself in laying the groundwork for its creative strategy is what kind of a place we want to create. Do we want to see culture as a token, as an attraction, as something for privileged few? Or rather we want to see people and communities that are actively engaged in their surroundings, caring for what is going on. People with full of initiative and energy. Do we want to be museum cities, those heritage landmarks that you enjoy as a bystander, but you feel you should not touch? You should not make a noise. You should not step out of the predefined route. Or we want to be rather cities of festivals, where lots is happening, but mostly done by someone else. Places where culture is spoon-fed to its citizens. Places where visitors might enjoy, but locals complain about. Or do we aim for a truly creative cities and regions in which people feel as part of the community, where cities are seen not as providers or creators or organizers, but as enablers? And what about smaller cities? Do they have any chance to become creative places? Creative industries have a tendency to concentrate in the centers. The global metropolis are the leading creative powerhouses. Talent goes for a talent. Business creates more business. Urban centers are attracting events, institutions, people, tourists. So if that is true, what can smaller towns and regions do? Well, actually, they can do a lot. They should not be competing with larger centers in the areas where they are clearly outnumbered, or which goes against a business logic. A small place will not become an architectural center or games development hub. But that is not really an aim. When our cities are becoming overcrowded, noisy, and expensive, and when digital technologies allow more and more distant working, the so-called creative class is increasingly looking for other territorial amenities, according to Lewis and Donald. These amenities include natural, like beautiful nature, sights, healthy lifestyle, clean air, quiet surroundings for concentration and focus. Cultural, like distinctive cultural heritage, both tangible and intangible heritage, local traditions, customs, stories, places, but also symbolic amenities, strong neighborhoods, trust, culture of participation, social capital, friendliness, feeling of belonging. And also built amenities, including public services, schools, health service, cozy cafeterias, restaurants, sporting facilities, meeting places, affordable rooms and studios. Lewis and Donald advocated that instead of talent, technology, and tolerance, the starting point for smaller places could be livability and sustainability. It is a strategy that tips on changing behaviors of creatives and people in general, people seeking to maintain low-impact lifestyles, reducing commuting times and traffic jams, embracing alternative, non-automobile ways of transport, including walking or biking, balancing the skyrocketing real estate prices in the bigger cities by offering more affordable living and working conditions, and providing quality education opportunities in smaller, more individual learning environments. A report by Intelli identified 4 types of creative-based strategies for smaller and medium-sized cities. Firstly, those taking physical approach focus on providing space, flexible, affordable, attractive, distinctive spaces. Then those offering green approach, focusing mostly on quality of life and living working environment that provides the need for calm, concentration and community. Then those taking the more thematic approach, playing on their strengths, traditions, and existing potential, creating clusters around particular culture fields like crafts or performing arts or food. And finally, the integrated approach, which supports the overall development of cultural and creative industries, encompassing social, entrepreneurial, environmental, and physical domains. Cities and regions of all sizes can benefit from and build upon the cultural and creative sectors and their potential to engage and inspire, to create jobs and offer value to locals and visitors alike. However, they should not be copy-pasting strategies that might not work in other larger places. Instead, they should find their distinct way to proceed. Remember these 5 suggestions. First, don't try to be everything and offer it to everybody. Find your uniqueness and stand out from the crowd. Second, don't think you have all the answers and you know better what people want. Engage them and invite them to co-create new solutions. It doesn't only bring better results, but it also makes stronger, more active and interested communities. Thirdly, have a strategic view in mind. Don't focus on one or another single element, but think of a big picture. Fourth, play on your strengths. Focus on those aspects that make your city or region to offer amenities that creatives and people in general are looking for. And see your problems as your opportunities. If you have a number of unused old infrastructure, look at it as an empty canvas that would be perfect for creatives to unleash their potential. And finally, think across sectors, across departments, across disciplines. Creative industry strategy is not city's cultural strategy, nor it is only a city or regional government strategy. Bring together public and private, government, business, and non-profit sectors, schools, youth centers, tourism providers, social rehabilitation agencies, environmental organizations, and many others.